Hello there, informed beauties. Your girl EuniyceMari here. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, hello, I am EuniyceMari, and this channel is all about informed beauty. Please take a moment to subscribe and hit that like button. All right. But today's video, you guys, is going to be all about these brows, okay? All about these brows and how I get my brows that are obviously not the same shape, not the same density. Like, my brows are long distant cousins. I'm gonna share with you guys how I just make my brows look as close to each other as possible with filling them in. I am not someone who stresses over my brows. I know that they're not the same. I know that they're not going to be the same. So my thing is, like, I just get them to look as close as possible. We're gonna go ahead and jump into this brow tutorial. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and everything that I use, of course, will be down below. Okay, you guys, so my ring light totally died on me. So, and I went to a brow tutorial. So we're just gonna go ahead and start the brow tutorial. I've had my ring light for a few years now, so I'm not really surprised that it went kabooyah. Like, it works when it wants to work, but oh, see, now it wants to work. Okay, we're gonna roll with it. So if you see the lighting change in this video, that's why. Okay, my ring light is just, I think it's going dead. So as you guys can see, I don't have a lot of brow. My brows are pretty sparse. They're getting better. I've been taking biotin, so they look like, you know, sometimes they look finer and thinner and sparser than usual, but what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna go through and just tweeze these little hairs. I don't really wax my brows because I don't really have a lot of brow, so I like to keep pretty much all of this, and I just go in and take away these little bitty hairs that are under the brow. But yeah, so I'm gonna explain everything to you as I go. All right, so first thing that I do is that I go through and I'm going to brush up my brows, making sure that everything is nice and out the way. Okay, and then I just take my good old tweezers. These are some tweezers from my job. I work at the European Wax Center, so these are their tweezers. And I just go through and I just tweeze the little hairs. I don't do anything too much. I give myself a little bit of a shape, but nothing crazy. Like I said, I like to keep my my thickness. I just like to clean it up so that when I fill them in, they have a nice clean shape to them. I used to like high arch my brows back in the day. I don't do that really much anymore. I just started to not like the shape of them when I was doing that. If you guys go back and look at a few of my videos, you will see that I had more of like a high shaped, like right here I used to take out a lot here and make it super thin, but I don't do that really much anymore. I keep the brow, ow, grab my skin. I keep the brow pretty full, and I just pretty much create like a really soft arch, just naturally going with what I have. And I like tweezing because with my brow, I don't have to worry about taking off too much. When wax, you gotta be really careful with my brow, because with wax, you'll take off your whole brow. And waxing, I don't really need waxing, honestly. My brows really don't need to be waxed. Okay. And a tip when you're using your tweezers, make sure you get good tweezers, because if you don't, you're just going to be breaking hairs, and that's pointless. So these are stainless steel, so you want to get you a good pair of tweezers that grab that hair from the root. Okay, and there's no rush. Take your time when you're doing your brows. So now if you look on my top part, I have a few sparse hairs, or just some random friends, and we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna tweeze those out the way to get my brow as clean as possible. I never understood these little hairs. I don't understand why they just grow. It's like one all the way up there. And good lighting, you guys. Also, make sure you get good lighting. That's why I'm like, no, I need my ring light to work. Because with the ring light, I can see all these little bitty hairs that I can't really see in my regular mirror or lighting. So having good lighting is very important. So this is what my brow looks like on this side. Yeah. I was thinking about taking away like these little, you know what, actually, I'm going to take them. Because as I look in here, I'm like, these can go. These little ones right here. Because I don't like my brows to be so thin. But if you guys can see, like I used to take out like this chunk here. And I don't know, like not no more though. Because, you know, thicker brows are in. So I'm going to leave it alone. So this is what this brow looks like before we fill it in. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go on over to this brow and clean it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start to tweeze this one and clean it up. This one is my difficult brow. But when it comes to a brow that is obviously not the same shape or is shaped differently, it's very, very, very important that you do less with that brow. That's what I tell my clients, and that's what I use on myself. Any brow that is super thin or just weirdly shaped like mine is here, the less that you do, the better. You can go in and clean up the little ones around, but when you fill them in, you're able to correct that shape. But this brow and this brow, as you can tell, are two totally different, you know, situations. So I try my best not to do too much. And I've done where I gave myself a hole in the brow before or made myself too thin. We all been there. So, but thank the Lord for brow products, because you can for sure create you a whole new brow though. That is pretty much how I just tweeze and kind of clean up the brow. And then next we're gonna jump into shaping these bad boys and filling them in. So let's do it. So before I begin to fill in my brows, I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer and apply that all over my lid up to my brow. And the reason why I'm gonna do this is because I'm thinking about wearing a little bit of eyeshadow. Also, this technique just helps out with, you know how you line your underbrow with like a concealer? I feel like you can kind of beat that, I feel like you can kind of skip that part if you were to do it this way. It's just a lot faster. Unless you really like a defined brow, then I guess. But with me, a lot of times I don't do that line underneath the brow. I just usually throw like concealer on my lid up to my brow bone. Okay. And then I'm just gonna brush my brows. Hopefully the lighting is good. I had to take it down a little bit. Thought it was too bright, but hopefully this is fine. Okay, so the brow product in which what I'm going to be using to fill my brows in is the NYX Tame and Frame pomade. I actually need to get a new one of these. I am like hitting super pan on this one. I have like probably a few more uses and that's it. And then I'm just going to be using, of course, a spoolie to brush everything out. And I'm going to be using this BH Cosmetics angled brush to apply. So that's what I use, okay? So let's go ahead and let's get started. So I'm just gonna dip my brush into this pomade. It is like, oh my, you guys, this is like, I barely have any more of that stuff left. Okay, so let me come a little bit closer so y'all can see. So what I do is I start in the beginning of my brow and I lightly. Now the thing about this pomade is that you have to be careful. If you use too much, it will give your brows a too dark. And I don't like a too dark of a brow. I like more of a natural looking brow. So I start with the outline on top of the brow. So I just kind of make sure that that's really defined. Like so. And then I go in with my spoolie and brush everything together. I'm telling you, having a spoolie is going to be your best friend. If you don't know, trust me. It just helps to blend out the line of the brow so that it's not super harsh or anything. Okay. Then I just go down to my lower line and I just make a nice little, I take whatever's left and just drag it along the lower part of my brow. And I go back in with a spoolie and I just brush everything. Brushing everything out is going to give you just a really nice blended brow look. And I like more of a natural look. I don't like too much of a harsh brow. I don't like a fake brow look. I don't like the pin drawn look. I just like my natural brows to be a little bit thicker than what they are. And so this gives me that. And then I come to the front and I fan the front out. I just go bloop, 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 like that. I don't like that box shaped front, not my thing, so I don't do that. But overall, this is pretty good for me. It's pretty filled in, it looks pretty natural, and so now I'm going to take some powder. Hold on. I'm gonna go with my Profusion Brow palette. I've had this thing for some time. Oh my goodness. It's probably time to throw it out, but I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the medium brown color here, and I'm going to use that to fill in on top of this brow because it's not, to me, fully filled in. All right. Ooh. Now let's go ahead and let's do this other brow. All right. So as you can see, they're not. Yeah, take a look at the brows. They're not the same shape to me, but we're gonna rock with it. So I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and I will be back. Okay, you guys, so this is the final look with the brows done and everything. Okay, the goal usually with my brows, or in general, is that I try to get them to look as close to each other as possible. Like I said, I think one of my brows is higher than the other. They're sparse, they're not the same, like, you know, shape and all that. But look, we get pretty close. Okay, we get pretty close. All right. But all products that I have used in this video will be down below, as well as I do have other previous videos that I did of filling in my sparse brows, so you guys can kind of take a look, go back and see what I used to do to my brows. And I will leave that link down below as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is your girl EuniyceMari. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys in a later video.